Well, if it feels like you haven't been able to go anywhere without running into Barbie, well, you're not seeing things. She's pretty much inescapable.
Welcome to Barbie's dream house. Come on in.
Well, let's just say she bundled her dream house and her dream car for around-the-clock protection with Progressive.
The future of Chevy electric SUVs has arrived.
Barbie Dream Burger has 100% natural juicy beef and pink mayo. It's Barbie Dream Burger.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party.
Barbie is everywhere, right? She's in malls, she's on clothes, she's been all over social media. People have had a lot of fun getting cheeky about the marketing team and how over the top the campaign has been. But at this point, it kind of feels like it's Barbie's world, and we're just living in it. Barbie made a whopping $377 million US worldwide in its opening weekend, debuting next to Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, which made $174 million. And that winning duo we've come to know as Barbenheimer, it's made history as the fourth biggest box office weekend ever.
Barbie was the top picture in both the US and Canadian cinemas. $155 million was the take in sales. That's according to ComScore. Never mind $182 million it made in international markets.
In Canada and the US alone, ticket sales for Barbie surpassed the Super Mario Brothers movie and every Marvel film released this year, making it the biggest opening of 2023. All of the buzz and sales are revitalizing for an industry that's been hit pretty hard over the last few years. The pandemic decimated theater attendance, and ticket sales haven't bounced back. According to The Hollywood Reporter, revenues in North America were down 34% last year compared to 2019. And I mean, think about streaming services. There are more of them than ever, pumping out content, and sometimes studios are releasing films straight to those services, known as simultaneous release, cutting out the need to go to the theater at all. So times have been tough in Hollywood, and this much-needed cash injection at the box office this weekend, it comes as times seem to be getting tougher.
More than 11,000 Hollywood film and TV writers are on strike.
Hey! Ho, ho! Writers, make your favorite shows!
Hey y'all, it is day 51 of the writers' strike, and today we are holding a massive rally on the streets of Los Angeles.
Now, America's film and TV industry is expected to grind to a halt today as tens of thousands of Hollywood actors join screenwriters in the first industry-wide strike in more than 60 years.
They feel like the studios and the CEOs are making millions of dollars and they're left with nothing.
So how did Barbie make such a bright splash during such a bleak moment? Well, it wasn't by chance. The marketing campaign for the Barbie movie was reportedly $150 million. And that's more than the film's actual budget, $145 million, according to Variety. Barbie's maker, Mattel, spent a lot of time working on partnerships with other brands. Cross-promotion deals like the one with Canadian retailer Aldo, a company that filed for bankruptcy protection just 3 years ago.
Barbie is really playful, inclusive, vibrant, fun, and really rooted in fashion, and so is the Aldo brand.
Much of the collection sold out within days.
We think it can sell at any time of year, but we have certainly benefited from the cultural moment that Barbie is having right now.
And that's just one in a long list of collabs. We've seen pink Barbie t-shirts at Gap and Hot Topic, Barbie handbags from Balmain, installations at department stores, pool floaties on Amazon, Superga sneakers, an Xbox, a pink burger at Burger King, and even an Airbnb listing for Barbie Malibu Dreamhouse. It's like everyone wanted in on the Barbie action.
Look at these stunning hoops that I got. I think this might be my best shopping find yet.
And I'm bad like the Barbie. I'm a doll, but I still wanna party. Pink felt like I'm ready to bend.
It's been a big bet, but it's clearly paid off for Mattel and Warner Brothers, the studio that produced Barbie. Mattel owns Hot Wheels, American Girl doll, and Fisher-Price. And even though the company made $5.5 billion in revenue in 2022, it says it has big plans to expand beyond the toy world. The president and COO of Mattel recently told the Wall Street Journal, which, by the way, called this the Summer of Barbie, that he wants to get everyone playing with Barbie. And that doesn't necessarily mean playing with a doll. Mattel has announced 14 movies in development based on its toys. There's a Polly Pocket film in the works with Lena Dunham directing, a Magic 8-Ball movie, J.J. Abrams is attached to a Hot Wheels film, and there's even a movie project in motion about Uno, the card game. So after a successful weekend at the box office for Barbie and a measurable boost to theater revenue, what could it mean for Hollywood and an industry in turmoil? Jenna Benchatrich is an entertainment writer with CBC News. Hey.
Hi, thank you for having me.
So you have been writing about this, and you found that there are some winners and losers here with this kind of campaign. So tell me about that. Who are we talking about here?
Yeah, so I spoke to a marketing expert, Samir Hosseini, a marketing prof, who essentially told me that because there is so much cross-promotion with the Barbie marketing campaign, we're going to see some winners and losers come out of that. So for example, some brands might lend themselves more organically to a cross-promotion deal with Barbie. You think about brands like Forever 21, which have released, a Barbie-inspired fashion collection, or a shoe brand like Aldo releasing Barbie-inspired shoes, NYX Cosmetics releasing Barbie-inspired makeup. These are things that we might actually kind of associate with Barbie, right? We think of her clothes, her shoes, her makeup. But then, on the loser side, so to speak, there are brands that have released Barbie-inspired products that maybe don't fit in so organically with the image of Barbie that we've come to know. So, for example, Burger King in Brazil released a Barbie burger with pink sauce. And there was also a Barbie Xbox release. So these are things that maybe might make you scratch your head a little bit more.
Yeah, because like you said, you can see how those first ones really fit in with the image of Barbie, and Xbox maybe not so much.
Exactly, yeah.
So it can be a bit risky for brands then. Like, what are the risks involved there?
Yeah, so one of the things that I spoke to with this expert was this concept called brand dilution. So this is essentially when a brand releases a product that is kind of at odds with the image that it's cultivated among the public, right? So something like an Xbox might not immediately bring to mind the Barbie doll, right? There's also this idea that when two brands collaborate, they're really depending on each other to maintain, a strong reputation. So there's a lot of vetting that goes into these types of brand deals to ensure that everybody is sort of, serving each other and that it's mutually beneficial.
Interesting. And so, we've seen this kind of revitalize the film industry a little bit, at least this weekend. Do you think that, this is just because of the intense marketing campaign, or, could this kind of signal a shift for movies?
I think a lot of it has to do with the marketing campaign. We saw Barbie alone kind of gave a boost to Oppenheimer. Just the fact that these two movies were kind of pit against each other at the box office, it sort of developed into a social media phenomenon, as we saw. And I think something that's really interesting about that is that the phenomenon was built around the act of going to the movie theater, which really helped box office sales. And it's almost comparable to what we saw last year with the Gentle Minions phenomenon.
Here's something you've never seen. Teens dressed to the nines just to go to the movies. Yep, these high schoolers are getting dressed in their Sunday best to see Minions, The Rise of Gru.
If you remember, there was so much talk around the Minions movie because people were dressing up, filming themselves going to the theater. So that is sort of what we saw this time around with Barbenheimer.
And it's interesting because it comes at the time of strikes, as we've seen, and what kind of content are we going to be looking at going forward with a writer's strike and an actor's strike happening?
Yeah, I think it's really more of a matter of when we'll see the content that we're already expecting. We saw with the Barbie press tour, Ryan Gosling, Margot Robbie were a huge part of getting audiences out to go see the film. Studios are really dependent on their stars and their celebrities to, get audiences excited for a film. And without them, because, actors, they can't go and promote their movies when they're on strike. Without them, a lot of studios might actually push out release dates to avoid any overlap with the strike.
Okay, so it might be a long time before we're seeing the kind of films and TV shows we're expecting.
Yeah, like for example, the Zendaya-led film Challengers has already been pushed out for a later release date.
Oh, wow. Okay, so this campaign, like, do you think this could work for other films, or, is this kind of like a one-off for a Barbie-type film?
I think Barbie really has the advantage of being built off of, a 60-year-old brand, 60-year-old intellectual property. I would argue almost that the marketing strategy around it wasn't for the benefit, or wasn't solely for the benefit of the movie, but also for the brand itself, right? They're trying to sell more dolls. So, that kind of makes it unique in that sense. Having said that, I think that other franchises that are sort of built around that pre-existing IP might have some of the success that Barbie had in building, a cross-promotion strategy, experiential marketing, like how the Barbie movie sort of released an Airbnb dream house to go along with the film, right? So it really depends on what the film is and how it approaches its strategy.
Amazing, so fascinating. Jenna Benchich, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.